took 7 weeks for it to be delivered from the point that I ordered it. And for a man that has very little patience, that's a long, long time. But so far, from what I can see, just from packaging and peeking over the top here, this Lone Star grill is an absolute beautiful, beautiful piece of equipment. I can't wait to get it unboxed, get it seasoned, and start cooking on it. Let's go ahead and get the rest of this crate taken apart. This thing's heavy. Shipping weight was over 1,000 pounds. Everything about this smoker is just meticulously thought out and made. It's just the quality is just absolutely through the roof. Lone Star Grillz, excellent experience, excellent craftsmanship, and hopefully excellent performance. But we have one step before we can start cooking. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do, and they give you a very detailed instruction sheet on how to do all of this, but the inside of the smoker has these tuning plates. What these tuning plates do is they allow you to get equal heat across the whole length of the smoker. And without these tuning plates, since the firebox is over here, the hottest area is going to tend to be right up against the firebox. So these tuning plates are designed to allow just a little gap between them so that the heat kind of evens out and you get even cooking temperatures throughout the whole smoker. Now you can buy this smoker, or any smoker for that matter, usually without the tuning plates. The tuning plates are more expensive. But if you want good quality barbecue, and you want to know what your meat is going to do, you have to have these tuning plates to get that temperature regulation. And so the instructions tell you to put the first tuning plate right against the firebox. So we're going to slide that over. And let me show you what they look like. It's just a little piece of flat steel there. I'm going to slide it right up against the firebox. And the instructions say you want a 1/4 inch between the first tuning plate and the second tuning plate. So I'm going to slide it over and then measure 1/4 inch. And that's where we want the second tuning plate. Now the third tuning plate, we're gonna double that quarter and we're gonna get a half inch. The first part of the seasoning process is to spray the entire inside surface of the cooking chamber and the firebox down with a cooking oil. The instructions specifically say a PAM or a spray like this would be perfect, so that's what I'm going to use. So now we have to do the seasoning, and what the seasoning is just a small fire, 225 degrees is what we're aiming for, no hotter than 250. And that's just gonna help all the paint on the outside and the inside kind of set. It's high temp paint, but it doesn't really have its strength until you do the seasoning process. So very important that this is done and that it's done correctly. I'm gonna start off with a little bit of wood chips. I'm gonna build a little pile of wood chips in the center. And then I'll put some post oak logs on and we'll start regulating the temperature and see how this guy works. It really wasn't too bad, just a couple of minutes. You know, the trick is to make sure that your wood is very dry, very seasoned. Now we're gonna go ahead and regulate this temperature. The instructions say that the smoker is designed to have the flue all the way open. So after the fire is burning naturally, we close the door. Now we're gonna regulate the temperature completely from here. I'm gonna start out wide open, and then I'm just gonna kind of close it until I get the temperature right about 225 degrees. After the seasoning, and the instructions specifically say to make sure you wait till after the seasoning, you're gonna use 2 parts water to 1 part cooking oil. So I mix that up in a spray bottle, spray it on the outside, all the exterior surfaces, and then wipe it down. Now we're just gonna wipe it down. This is a cleaning solution as well, so you can use this to, clean up any spots that you need to clean up at any point in time. The instructions say to spray the PAM or the cooking spray every time you use the grill. So you're gonna get the most lifespan out of your equipment if you spray down the inside of the cooking chamber and the firebox every time you use the grill. So I really can't wait any longer. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. So I'm gonna do my first cook. I've done the seasoning process. I've wiped down the outside as it called for in the instructions. And now it's time to start a fire and get some ribs on the grill, because ribs are, they're simple. I've done them so many times that, what I wanna concentrate on today is getting used to working the flow of the smoker. One of the most important things you can learn in life, in my opinion, is what fire can do, how to start a fire, and then how to control a fire. And every smoker, every pit's gonna be different. There's gonna be little nuances that you have to figure out how to master in order to get that temperature spot on and keep it there. And so that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna figure out, a little more about how this thing works. Yesterday was a good indicator. It was a little bit of practice as far as getting that fire to that 225 mark and keeping it there, and trying to figure out where things need to be adjusted to in order to maintain that heat level. And every day is going to be different. You're going to have humidity, you're going to have different temperatures. So it's not something like, well, once I get it this far open, that's where I always open it to. I'm going to put a mark there and that's it. Now, you can't do that because every day, every cook is going to be different. So getting an idea of where things need to be and then how to tweak them to get them where you want them is is what I'm going to be focusing on today. Not to mention cooking some incredible ribs. Best way to start a fire out is just with small kindling, and or fire starter. You can use a fire starter or two, and then put some chunks on top of it, and then put your logs on top of that. Hardwood's best. Any nut tree or fruit tree will work great. I'm going with hickory and post oak today. If you don't have any kindling or small pieces of wood, you can use wood chips, that you use for smoking. They work great. I have 3 racks of baby back ribs, and I just put a McCormick's honey hickory rub as well as a bourbon rub on there. So I got a couple different flavor profiles, and this is it, guys. This is a whole new thing here for Delmarva Backyard. Brand new smoker, wood smoke. For everyone that was criticizing pellet smoker, please understand, I love my pellet smoker, but you're right. There is a wonderful flavor that comes from wood-fired barbecue, and it's hard to match. The pellet grill, the Rectech, is an amazing grill, and I won't be getting rid of it or using it any less. I'm just going to be doing more barbecue. I don't know where you guys are located, but it's January 2020 right now, and here on Delmarva it should be in the 40s. It's like high 60s. Short sleeves on today. Here we go, fellas. First rack on. And there we go. Now I did have to adjust those tuning plates down in there. I'm not sure if you can see them. A little more than what the directions called for. I had to keep the first plate about a ½ inch off the side, about 3/4 of an inch between the first and the second plate, and about an inch between the second and third plate. That's the only way I could get, during the seasoning process, I could get even temperatures throughout the entire length. We'll see how it goes today though. So I still have a little bit more fine tuning to do with those plates. You can see we're sitting right at just above 225 here. We're a little closer to 250, almost 250 on this side. So burning hot down this side, and I need to adjust those plates a little bit more, bring them towards this side, so I can cool this side off and heat that side up a little bit. Beautiful. So I want to thank Lone Star Grillz for working with me to get this wonderful, wonderful smoker. It's just a privilege to be able to cook on something so nice. It held temperature. This thing's like, I think the shipping weight was 1,000 pounds or more. This is just real quality stuff here. And the proof is in the food. So we're gonna pull these ribs off of here and we'll see how they come out. Man, I feel like I haven't done ribs in forever. I can't think of a better food to start out my first cook on that Lone Star smoker. Incredibly juicy. It's like the entire thing's a smoke ring. There's no red layer of smoke ring. The whole thing is just this beautiful pink. What I'm anticipating is a very, very smoky flavor. And I did use post oak for the most part. That was mainly what I was using for wood, which just gives you a lighter kind of smoke content. But I still expect a major difference between the pellet grill and using straight up wood. Pellets are made, they're wood, sawdust, or however they make them. I mean, but it's not the same typically, and it's not that far off. It really isn't. I love my pellet smoker, but it's a convenience thing. The pellet smoker makes things easier. That's it's very, very true. But when you have the time where you can monitor that fire, and just kind of sit out there and drink a beer while you're tending to it, I think it's definitely worth it. And I'm really excited to have the Lone Star smoker in the backyard for Delmarva backyard, so I can start doing some comparison cooks, pellet smoker versus the Lone Star, and dive into all kinds of other amazing barbecue. This is a major step for my channel, and I really hope that you'll tune back in, watch some of the videos, and support me. But for now, let's taste this rib out. Oh my God, it's tender. It's so delicious. So delicious. Just really moist, really tender. And then it's not as smoky as I thought it was going to be honest with you. But it's a perfect rib. You can't cook a rib better than that I've ever witnessed or seen. It's a perfect rib. I mean, perfect flavor, perfect tenderness, juicy. It's amazing. Can't wait to see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.